Nick Shirley ran up in there like Zoolander, boy. The Quality Learning Center for kids who can't read good. I don't know if you guys have been following this story. There's a guy by the name of Nick Shirley who's gone absolutely nuclear. The clip I'm about to show you actually has 126 million views, which is absolutely insane. So this is basically about the Somalia daycare centers that are being exposed for a lot of fraudulent activity. Let's get off into this.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota, as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses. So much fraud, it could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia. These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes.
Insane.
Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups in Somalia like the Al-Shabaab, and others enriched themselves all at the U.S. tax.
I like shish kebabs.
And in this video, we will break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses and confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will also be confronting the incompetent government leaders who let this fraud happen. And to make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own.
So I'm not going to watch the entire video. You can watch it on his channel if you really want to get into it. I'm going to look at a lot of the reactions of people that are talking about this stuff and how wild some of these raids are. This is a clip of a raid.
Get the fuck out of here!
You cannot come in here. We don't care. We don't know where it is. Get out. That's not your job. You don't know that. Get out.
You can do that. You can film here.
From the statement that's on the website, advancement building. This address is
The sickening thing about this is that it seems like some portions of the government, I'm not going to say the entire government because that would be, you know, stupid of me to say, portions of people in the government are leveraging children, which are the most vulnerable in the world, right? Children are the most vulnerable people in the world because they can't defend themselves, they can't stand up for themselves, they're not physically able or mentally able. But we're leveraging them to commit fraud, which is one of those things that to me is so vile and so terrible. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. I think that's vile, terrible, that you're trying to leverage children to make a bunch of money. The problem with this is when you do things for children, most people don't ask. Most people aren't like, well, where's that money going? What are you guys doing with these funds? It's kind of like a failsafe. Like, right, you can always say, I'm helping the children, and nobody's going to bat an eye. But if you're funneling money through fraud, you know, this is a thing that definitely needs to be investigated. And this isn't just happening in Minnesota or Minneapolis. There's places in Columbus, Ohio. I'm going to show you a clip. It's the second largest Somali community in the United States, and many more daycares are in Learning centers found with no kids. They all have no kids in them.
It's a daycare center owned by Somalians and stuff like that.
Have you ever
They're like, that's the hustle, though, right? They're like, bro, just open up a daycare center.
seen any kids in this place here?
No, not that I know of. I just seen it, the building itself. I've never seen nobody come out the building or go in the building.
You've never seen anybody over there?
No, not at all.
So right now we are in front of the Great Minds Learning Academy. This is one of the many daycare centers, learning centers here in Columbus, Ohio that are associated with the Somali community. As you know, Nick Shirley put out a bombshell report about all these fraudulent daycare facilities.
Quality Learning Center. Y'all thought I was playing with that. Quality Learning Center.
In Minneapolis, Minnesota. So we wanted to come out to Columbus, Ohio and investigate what might be going on in the second largest Somali community in the United States of America. So this place here is the first place we're gonna knock, and we're gonna see if anybody picks up or answers the door. Let's see.
Oh, this should be good. Nobody's gonna answer that door, bro. They're in there learning. They're busy.
So
this looks like, I'm gonna be honest, this building looks like where you would house criminals. This doesn't look like where I would want my kids to be, you know?
knocking on the door. Nobody's picking up. So we're not sure what the hell's going on here, but we're gonna get out of here.
This building right here.
So this isn't just happening, and so maybe this is the next big scam where people are funneling millions of dollars. And it really only gets worse. I was able to find so many clips.
What would you say to Nick Shirley, the YouTuber, if he was standing in front of you right now?
I have nothing against him himself, but I do have something against the rhetoric. It's if you're going to be a journalist, just have a moral compass.
You made it before your business hours? Brother, man, it says Quality Leering Center.
Like, do what you do correctly. If you catch business that are fraud.
Okay, this is also the terrifying thing, you know, and I don't like to throw shade unless it's factual. This guy explains exactly why it's terrifying that anybody that's, you know, Somalian is able to get this amount of money, number one, but number two is teaching kids.
It's not even funny anymore because, look, Somalia is about to assume presidency of the UN Security Council on January 1st, 2026. That's in like a week. And if anyone knows about the demographics in Somalia, they know that Somalia is not the ideal country you want running the UN. Now, First off, the UN is a complete joke. No one actually cares about it anymore. The United States should have left the UN right when it started. However, Somalia in particular has a civil war right now taking place where there is...
They have since Black Hawk Down came out. Like, have y'all seen Black Hawk Down? Like, bro, that country has been war-stricken and civil war-stricken for the longest time. They don't need to be leading anything.
Literally not even a stable leadership within Somalia. So how it's supposed to lead the UN Security Council is really up to question here. But look, we are all seeing about the news about the Somali fraud in Minnesota. That is a concern, and that is really bad. However, if you look at Somalia, and if you look at the demographic in Somalia, it's not surprising to anyone. The average IQ in Somalia is a 65. To qualify for intellectual disability in the United States, you need an IQ of 70 or below, which means that the average IQ in Somalia qualifies you for intellectual disability in the United States. When we are importing third world immigrants who qualify for the average IQ in the United States, they're going to be off welfare and they're going to be living off welfare. That's why we need an immediate end to third world immigration, to end this ridiculous fraud, to end the overuse of welfare systems in states like Minnesota.
So people can say all day, it's a race thing. It ain't a race thing for me, bro, at all. It's an intellectual thing. It's like the fact that we're letting these people that are war-stricken and also under the general IQ for what we would consider like mentally handicapped is crazy work. Here's a clip of him on a podcast, Nick Shirley.
I talked to one lady who said she watched another person's stomach get cut open when she was pregnant, get cut open by the cartel because they couldn't give her the money to come over to the United States. And so then I also started getting super interested in like, how corrupt can a government be to where the point where they're incentivizing people to get trafficked across the United States, get raped, get kidnapped, have to pay extortion fees, have to leave their family, have to go through a jungle to come to the United States. And how can people morally say that that's a good thing to be incentivizing illegal immigration? And to see politicians be so corrupt and to misuse their words as to saying like, we're actually helping these people really made me dive deeper into politics and see why are they letting all this happen?
To this point, I'll pause it there. We're seeing the radicalization of a younger generation. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. We're seeing a lot of young men be radicalized because they've been called names and they've been put into a corner or stereotyped in a certain way that's so negative that they're sick of it. They're absolutely sick of it. And now these guys are speaking up. You got guys like Nick Fuentes, Nick Shirley, who are really, I would say Nick Fuentes is more like the figurehead for younger Gen Z guys.
And why is it only in these blue states where they're incentivizing these people to come to? Who's making money off this? Like, why would they want, for instance, right now in Minnesota, why would they want a large population of people from the third world to come here to the United States and then grow at unprecedented levels to the point where they're going to give them business licenses and then open up welfare for them to be able to start a daycare and get $2 million a year?
Well, in my opinion, it's all, and then chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. I think it's all the Democrats' plan to get a bunch of people dependent upon the government from third world countries because typically those people vote blue. And so if you get a massive influx of those people, they'll all vote Democrat, and then the Democrats can basically run it. It's almost like not a dictatorship, but like a socialist country where everyone's dependent upon welfare, everybody depends on the government, and you keep people in a low-class, poor society, and you really divide that disparity between people that are poor and people that are rich and just eliminate the middle class.
You're from the government, and then you go to the daycare at 10 a.m. and there's no children. and there's just 3 BMWs outside. And so that's...
See, that's weird. He went up there. Now, I will say it's weird to want to go into a daycare. That is a little sus. At the surface of it is a little sus. But at the same time, if they had kids there, they'd be like, yeah, we have kids here. But I also believe in the privacy of, these daycare workers. If they didn't want to show these kids, I completely respect that. I think that's fine, right? You shouldn't be offering up to just show children. It's a little weird. But I saw a clip of this guy, and I was like, this kind of relates to what we're talking about.
So gay people are gay because they were born that way. But trans people aren't their sex, even though they were born that way? Got it. It's interesting that young white men are only 10% of the population, but 98% of the military deaths. So much for that privilege.
Yeah, so much for that privilege. So that's the clip I really wanted to play there. So much for that privilege. 10% of the population, 98% of the military deaths. Isn't that wild? And apparently Tim Walz had a lot to do with this.
Did you all see this tweet from Tim Walz? The comments did not disappoint. Where he says that Minnesota is the number 8 state for safety, the number 5 state to live in, the number 3 state for jobs, the number 2 state to raise a family, and the number 2 state to...
Yeah, I'll never... I want to watch this, but I'll never understand why people yell at a phone.
Retire. Then he says he won't quit fighting until we are number 1. Yeah, number 1 in leering? Tim Walz? Scott Pressler beat me to it. Then we have number 1 in Somali daycare fraud. Number 1 for tampons in men's bathrooms.
Tampons in men's bathrooms. You know what? I demand equality when it comes to tampons in the bathrooms for men.
And it just goes on and on. Then we get this gem by Jimmy Fallon, who says, "Can't believe you're still tweeting. Your crisis management has leered nothing." Then we got this other one, just tweet through it. They're hugging. We got this being libertarian showing address me with this giant elephant in the room.
Oh my God. Tim Walz is getting cooked like some Korean barbecue, maybe Somalian barbecue. No, this is wild. Absolutely wild. And people are going to try to turn this to a race play, but it's definitely not that, But federal agents now are deporting these people. They do not care. Nobody's safe. But in my opinion, dude, like, they have borders in every other country. We even have borders for freaking states. Why are we going to protect our borders and protect the people that are actually here, that were born here? Every country has its own national identity. Like, why are we just going to give this up? I'll never understand. It's like when women give up womanhood to trans men, or I don't even know anymore, trans women, I guess, when they're like, yeah, you can be a woman and you can be a woman. It's like, where's the pride in being a woman? Why can everybody be a woman now? This guy kind of explains what I'm talking about.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm getting real sick and tired of this little lady.
The idea that this is a white nation that needs to be preserved is a fascinatingly...
I've never heard that idea. I think America in the United States is based off diversity. I've never heard it's a white nation, but whatever.
Disgusting view, because this country is one for the many.
Let me tell you something, bitch. Nobody's saying America has to be one skin color, but every nation on earth has a culture worth protecting. Funny how preserving identity is beautiful everywhere else. Japan does it, Mexico does it, even Somalia does it. But when America does it, it's disgusting. This ain't about no race. You snuck into this country and now you're trying to erase standards and history. America is an idea. And ideas only survive when people are brave enough to stand up and defend it. If every nation deserves an identity, then why is America the exception? We're not just gonna let you come up in here and switch up the rules to benefit only your people. So listen up, America. I need you to listen good. We need to vote these people out of power. Because you see what they're starting to do. They're starting to talk mess that they think they're gonna take over something. Because when a country isn't allowed to remember who it is, that means someone else will decide for it.
Exactly right, dude. That guy said it very well. When you don't remember what your country is, other people will decide it for you. Like, I saw this meme and was like, oh my God. It says, multi-billion-dollar Somali fraud operation, 23-year-old YouTuber. That's all it took, dude. I'm telling you guys, independent journalism is going to be the next big leap here, where people are going to start listening to young YouTubers and guys right now instead of, major news outlets.
Why is a 23-year-old YouTuber doing more real news than ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, WAPO, and News?
And this is why, dude, because people trust, like, put a 1 in the chat. Let's do a little poll here. I won't run the poll, but we'll just do it with 1s or 2s. Put a 1 in the chat if you would rather take news and political advice from YouTubers put a 2 in the chat if you'd rather take news and political advice from news outlets. Let's just see what you guys say in the comments.
New York Times combined. 60 Minutes when you need him, this Ted Cruz. What's he talking about? I'd love to show you.
Where's the money's going? What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent?
Now, in case you've been living under a rock, you may or may not have seen that documentary by Nick Shirley and his crew, where they went into Minnesota and they found out that all of these daycare centers that were Somalian owned, that were getting millions of dollars in federal money, that's your tax dollars. Millions of dollars in federal money to run these daycare centers were fucking empty. Not just...
Yeah, help people that are disabled. Help the veterans. Like, let's stop helping these immigrants that are coming from other countries and not even doing anything with this business. Now, it'd be different if they were actually opening a business and doing something with it, but there's no children there.
Empty either. They were shell businesses. One of the daycares that he did spelled learning wrong on the sign and didn't have any windows, and there was no kid. But on the paperwork for the loans or the grants that they applied for, the federal government said they had 90 plus kids. Not a child in sight in the middle of a fucking weekday. So back to your question, Ted Cruz, why is he doing a better job than the news? My question is, why is he doing more work than fucking Congress? Because you want to see what Congress has been doing?
Nothing.
Why is he doing more work than you and your little investigative groups? Where's the Scooby-Doo gang? You know what? I told you in the beginning that I was going to try and be more intentional with my content, and I was going to try and be more educational, okay, and give you more solutions. Well, the only solution to this, the single solution to this right now, is to recognize that the Republican Party hates you just as much as the Democratic Party, if not more. At least with the Democratic Party, you knew who your enemies were. And with fuck this. These people are standing for you. This 24-year-old kid cares more about you and your money and your family and what's happening in your country than Ted fucking...
Wait, was it the Republicans that gave the money to the Leering centers? Who gave money to the Somali learning centers? Federal fraud investigation, alleged fraud, FBI and Department of Homeland Security, State Commissioner responds, FBI searched. Presses Walz over a minute. It looked like it was Tim Walz. So Tim Walz is a Democrat. I'm not sure what she means by that, but, you know, I always like to look.
Cruz and the likes of it. Have we not announced a hearing, Ted Cruz? You drug everybody else to hearings for erroneous shit. At least Lake and Milk like you're doing something. Why are you not investigating? Why are we not in Minnesota right now with the National Guard hunting people down who are here illegally and getting them the fuck out of here? First and only solution to this problem is to recognize that this is not identity politics. The GOP party does not fucking care about you, and they never did. If I learned anything from the Trump administration personally, okay, it's that these people do not care about me. These people do not care about my family. These people do not care about our country. Let me say that one more time. These people do not care about the people in the United States of America. Can you hear me? This isn't even America first, America last. This is America nothing. This is America infiltrated.
I don't know where she's getting all the Republican stuff, and I'm not saying the government actually cares either. You know, I never thought the government was like, yeah, they really got my back, man. Those guys in those political power positions, they really are looking out for little old me. I've never really thought that. Dude, this meme cracked me up. I don't know if you can see it. Leering, learning. Dude, some of the memes are so good, bro. My God. We got this one right here.
What's your tax dollars so we can live a luxury USA?
That's crazy. These AI videos, bro. Good Lord, man. Fun fact, the average IQ in Somalia is 68, which is crazy work when you really think about it. Absolute crazy work. 68. Like, look at this, dude. IQ 50 to 70, mild mental retardation. IQ classifications in psychiatric use, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 4th edition, American Psychiatric Association. You're going to tell me we're going to give these people money? Bro, come on, you got to be better than that. You got to be better than that.
Hello, I'm Somali and I want money. U.S. government, please give me money. Well, we can't just give you money outright. You have to provide some sort of service to the economy. Okay, I'm going to start a daycare. Oh my goodness, that's great. I would love for you to teach and be around my children. Can I... I just poke around at first? No. Well, you have like a fully operating daycare. I just like to see what's inside. If I let you in, will you give me the money? Yes, of course. Oh, it's completely empty. The ABCs are out of order. That's not even English. That's like Spanish. Are you sure this is like an operating daycare? Please give us money. Well, I'd hate to be racist. Here's $1 million.
Yeah, bro, $1 million for all this crazy work. The amount of cash they're giving these people is the alarming part. Like, and this is a clip of Nick Shirley talking about kind of like the whole divide of. I'll just get into it.
Governor Tim Walz is saying that you and others that are out there trying to expose this, you know, you're doing it because you're white supremacists. What is your response to him?
Yeah, Tim wants votes. There are entire apartment complexes where white people have been pushed out of these apartment complexes because Somalians have taken over and they're inside of these towns like Minneapolis where they can go get votes from these people. And if you have 100,000 people that will vote for you because you're going to enable and let this stuff happen, and because you're going to call a white person racist for calling out facts, this is what's going to happen to a state like Minnesota. Minnesotans, they say Minnesota nice, but they are very upset. And I fully understand why they're upset, because they don't have a governor who's actually working for them. He's actually working against them.
Governor Tim Walz is saying that you and others that are out there trying to...
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Now, shout out to Nick Shirley, man. Put a big target on his back by, you know, doing this. But, like, dude, some of the memes that they're coming up with is, like, crazy work. Tim Walz next to a Somalian woman just flashing cash. It's crazy, bro. Yeah, and fraud is fraud. It doesn't matter what race someone is, in my opinion. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Fraud is fraud. You know, fraud, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Bro, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I knew about the Somali shit 20 years ago. I had my son 20 years ago. I went to go get Section 8. Drove down to the Section 8 office in Columbus, Ohio, and guess who the fuck I seen? All Somalis in the parking lot. They was there for 8 hours already. Had tents and shit, vans. They had fucking tents. They had their vans parked in the parking lot and made tents, nigga. It's first come, first serve when you go to get help from the government, when you need aid, when you need financial aid.
This guy's got like a blinged out watch, all this jewelry on, talking about Section 8, brother.
First come, first serve. You gotta wait behind a fucking 100 Somalians, nigga, to get... I'm American, bitch. I gotta wait behind 100 Somalians to even get help. Then...
See, that I don't agree with, but also that young man looks like he could work. So I'm not too sure why he's getting these benefits anyways. He looks like he's able-bodied.
So, a Somali-American politician here in Maine, Abdullahi Ali, has placed a murder bounty on a journalist for reporting a fraud scandal for millions of dollars involving MaineCare. No wonder fucking MaineCare and taxes are so expensive here.
I heard Maine taxes are really, really high. Maine's also a nice state from what I've heard. I don't know the specifics. Here's another clip from Nick Shirley's
Now we're being
video.
followed by the Somalis. This is another daycare center. Absolutely no signage. And there's no footprints in the snow of children playing outside. $5 million within the past
5.9 million in 2 years. 5.9 million they received in 2 years. That facility right there.
And now we have a group of Somalis telling us in our vehicle right now.
From this daycare center, we headed over to the infamous Quality Learning Center, which actually spells Quality Learning Center on the outside of their sign. That's how blatant this fraud is here at this daycare.
Don't open up!
So this is Quality Learning Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open up!
They said they spelt learning wrong.
Don't open up!
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, what do you think about the
Of course, it's a white Karen.
fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have ice!
And what do you think?
The ice on the ground.
Think about this place being licensed for 99 children
Don't open up!
and getting $4 million over the $4 million.
That's why we don't listen to these people anymore, these SJWs. They're just like professional virtue signaling weirdo victims.
In the last 2 years.
Go away!
What do you think about that? Are you in favor?
away!
Are you in favor of that?
Go away!
You know
You're
where the-
not welcome here.
Are you-
Shame on you!
Are you in favor of $1.9 million going illegally, fraudulently to this business that has Quality Learning Center but can't even spell learning right on the door?
Don't open up!
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
I don't care who you are, you don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong here.
Don't open up, it's ICE!
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children in here at this building, but there's no one here. This is a child daycare center.
Says 99 children. Paid $1.9 million this year in CCAP funding.
Doesn't matter how many facts, statistics, when you're talking to someone like this am I turtly enough for the turtle club looking ass Karen, that you can't speak any logic into this woman's mind. She is so emotionally wired that she probably has the same IQ as the cats she has at home.
Do you know where the children are? Were they kidnapped? They run away? Where are the children? This is state of Minnesota. Right here.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
And who are you with?
Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
Oh, he's just been doing some research investigating the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with Nick Shirley.
This lady, she's calling us ICE. We're just trying to put law and order back.
That's what happens, dude. That's what happens. Loki, that's crazy. We're going to start a doggy daycare center with you and all your buddies. I'm going to see if I can get a big loan or something. Maybe I can get a fat loan. Maybe I can get, a couple mil. Start this. Look how big this piece of chicken is, dude. He's going to go crazy for this. Loki, free. Sit. Shake. Wait. Free. Go to your place. That's going to take him a hot minute, bro. Yeah, dude, and the sad thing is, man, is that nobody's covering this, not CBS, PBS, CNN, ABC, MSNBC, like nobody's covering this. It takes a 23-year-old YouTuber to come out there and actually cover this story and talk about this stuff. Like, it's wild work.
The most insulting thing about the whole Somalian scandal that's happening right now is that how disrespectful the Somalian community is. Right, how blatantly arrogant they are, right? Ilham Omar and the governor, like we don't deserve to ask questions. Like this whole,
and I don't know about you guys. I don't interface with any Somalians. I've probably maybe met one or two in my life. Maybe I don't have any negative things to say about them, but this whole thing is not painting them in a positive light.
Like, this is our money, right? Like, most average American that can live in paycheck to paycheck, y'all stealing millions of dollars, fake daycares, fake healthcare businesses, right? Living in luxury of our taxpayer dollars. Y'all not even from America. A lot of y'all are illegal immigrants. Some of y'all are illegal immigrants. And y'all acting like we don't have the right to ask questions. When this guy Nick is going around, Shirley, I believe, he's going around, they're acting like they got an attitude because Americans are asking questions. Because they know they're in corruption. They know there's fraud. Yep. Walz know that he's in fraud. They all know. They in on it. Right? So that's what bothers me. And I think that's what's bothering most Americans.
Yeah, 100%. And it's our taxpayer dollars. But like I said earlier, dude, the easiest way to funnel money through is to just say, we're doing it for the kids. We're doing it for the children. That's the easiest way to do it, bro. It's like you gotta commend them on doing probably the smartest type of fraud, right? Let's do it for the kids, something that most people probably won't verify. Nobody's gonna question it. It's for children, like if something came out with Baylor Scott and White, or the hospital, the Hopkins Children's Hospital, like nobody's probably gonna look into that. It's for kids, So I mean, it's a smart angle to take, even though they're getting caught up really bad. But I don't think anything's gonna happen.
Let's just say that there is a legit daycare operation over in Minnesota. The rent that they're going to be paying is $2,000 to $3,000. Let's add on utilities, insurance, some maintenance costs, the cost of some materials. Let's say they add a company vehicle. We're at around maybe $6,000 for the month. And let's say they overstaff the place, because of course that's what they do. The total annual cost for an operation like that is going to be like maybe $300,000. And yet the government is cutting them a check for $1 million. Am I missing something here, or does the government really have their head shut?
No, this is the new glitch, bro. It's the Somali daycare glitch. Y'all got to catch on, bro. Y'all got to get there. Y'all got to go ahead and get in there, bro. you got to catch up. Let's go start some Somalian daycare centers, chat. What are we doing? What are we doing? We got to step it up, bro. I want $1 million. Come on.
Shout out to Nick Shirley. Man, I am so glad you did that. It is going crazy viral all over the internet. All of us who have been calling out the Democrats are appreciating you, because we've been saying this for years. Now, for those of you who know me in real life, you know that I used to work around kids at charter schools. You know that I did the federal accounting. Some people on my channel don't know that. They just think I'm just a guy that drives cars around. I retired from accounting, did federal accounting for the school. So what Nick said is right. Nobody's checking up on that. In Nevada, the state sends people to our schools. They actually send people to our schools during count days, after count days. We go over financials all the time. They see kids, they see teachers, they see staff. They know the federal dollars are going in good hands. The state does that. What happened in Minnesota? It wasn't happening. Because all it took was for the state to do like what Nick did. Go there. The fact that they didn't go there tells me this wasn't just a small oversight. This was training. The people in Minnesota, the administration, all of these people, they are trained to do fraud. It started at the top. I'm telling you, and it didn't just start with the state. It started at the federal level. Who's ever in charge at the federal level for that state? Ilhan Omar, her boss, Obama. These people all are programmed to know exactly what to do because you need social security numbers, you need bodies, you need parents, you need addresses, you need contact phone numbers. A registrar will have all of that. So if the registrar of the school has social security numbers and files on all of these kids, then the state should have those same files. If the state doesn't have files on that, then where are these social security numbers coming from in order to get that much money? Remember I told you in the last video, the head of the social security division, she resigned the moment Trump took office because they know there's something going on with these social security numbers. There's no way you can get millions and millions of dollars like that without social security numbers. I used to do the federal part of the accounting for the school, so I know exactly how it works.
I just can't believe it's gotten this far, right? It's already gotten so far where these schools are getting millions and millions and millions of dollars. Like, we're not talking about a couple dollars here. This is a lot of money.
Own investigation for years now as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into this and be prepared to be shocked. How deep is this fraud here inside of Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine. You heard it's 7 to 10 billion and maybe more, and now the numbers have been revised and put out there publicly that they think it's more like 8 billion. How I got involved is that where my office is here in Minneapolis, I'm sort of in the heart of all of this fraud, and I would see these child care centers. I said, well, there aren't any kids there. It's the middle of the day, and all I see are a couple of guys standing out front smoking, and then I'd go by another daycare and I'd see the same thing. I said, well, where do these kids play? And so I started to go online and look, and I said, this place is licensed for 80 children. They had 0 children. Every time I went by there, they never had a single child there. And then I started to see all these transportation companies going around, and it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well, that's great. They're out there transportation, contributing, but they never had a passenger, never, ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation? What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be. And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali-owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever cross-checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
Wow, that's what we're dealing with right now. I think this pisses me off. This makes me mad because, like, if this is happening at this grand of scale and we just caught it now, like, bro, it's how much. What else is going on? What else is going on? I'm gonna end this video with some peak female comedy here.
Asian people, gotta be one of my favorite races, for real, love Asian people. But low key, like, y'all ruined Christmas for me, you know? Like, I remember one year when I was a kid, I got a Barbie dream house from Santa. Yeah, you know. Yeah, bro. Barbie dream house. That was like the best gift you could get. I was like, Santa, I love you. And then one day, me and my mom were playing hide and seek, and I chose to hide behind my Barbie dream house, and there it was, a sticker that said "Made in China." And then so I'm crying, and I run down to my mom, and I was like, if this is from Santa, why does it say "Made in China"? And so she's like trying to think quick, and she's like, oh gosh, like, like, there's a lot of toys, so like they need help from the Chinese people to make the toys. Is there anyone Chinese in here? You work with elves? See, case in point. No.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Hopping around, dressing like a 304. We're expected to laugh at that? That's peak female comedy right there, chat. Peak female comedy. Not funny at all. Not one bit funny. At all. Oh my god, it's pathetic, chat. It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. Bro, we got a lot of content coming up. But man, Loki, it's been a great year, man. Shout out to 2025. It's been good. I hope you guys have enjoyed 2025 as much as I have. You guys have absolutely changed my life. Been full-time on YouTube for a year now. I want to say thank you to everyone that watches. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed. And if you watch all the way to the end of the videos, you're seriously a real one, bro. Or sister. Whichever one. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It was good to have you guys out, man. Until next time. Peace.